legend. And no, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about a term that is way, way overused in these modern times. But the man who this whisky I'm about to review is named after, that term legend, is pretty much damn near an understatement. But does this whisky do him justice? And does it deserve legendary status like he does? Stay tuned. What about you whisky lovers, and welcome to another episode of Whisky Straight with me, Big Al. It's a pleasure to have your company and thanks for tuning in. Now, before I get right into this whisky, apologies first off that it's been a few weeks since I've had a review. My boy Monty, my Dalmatian, suddenly died, and it's taken me a while to get used to him not being about, and I don't think I'm still used to it, but anyway. And also, since the last Big Al's Big 5 video, I've finally surpassed that 1,000 subscriber mark, so thank you and all my ongoing subscribers, and welcome to the new subscribers. It's great to have you on board, and thanks for coming on board, and hopefully we can enjoy this journey and expedition together. So, talking about expeditions, this is the Shackleton whisky, which is a blended malt Scotch whisky, bottle of 40% ABV. It's usually priced at around the 30 quid mark, sometimes 24, but I got this on a bargain for 18 quid, so I thought, why the hell not? This whisky was created by master blender Richard Patterson, who probably most of you will know from the Dalmore and White and Mackay fame. Now, it's based on the antique blend of McKinley's Rare Old Whisky, which was the spirit supplied to the 1907 British Antarctic exhibition. Now, 25 cases of this were taken on board the ship Nimrod, which Shackleton and his team used in a hope to become the first people to reach the South Pole. But horrible, horrendous weather intervened, and it just wasn't possible. So Shackleton, in his wisdom, decided to turn back to save the lives of his men and himself, obviously. But he was undeterred. He kept pushing forward, getting funding, talking to the right people, and another expedition was set up in 1914. And this time he set off on board a ship called the Endurance. And what happened thereafter has become the stuff of legends. Probably the most gripping and engaging story. The greatest, probably, triumph over adversity there has ever been. But we're not here to talk about history, we're here to talk about the whisky. So, would I recommend this whisky as legendary? Let's see. So we'll start off on the nose. Happen to have a pour of this? Please join me and we'll drink together. Sláinte. Right off, I'm getting vanilla and a fruity raspberry forward compote, and there's a nice wee hint of ginger in there too. Polished wood, honey toffee, like highly polished wood, and that ginger element, it just remains right throughout. A touch of cinnamon as well, perhaps even a gentle touch of demerara sugar and pineapple too. A pretty decent nose, but all those flavours are just, how can I say it? They're not jumping out of the glass, they're there, and they're a wee bit all understated. Onto the palate. Immediately it's pretty light on the palate. and it's almost like a rum-soaked pineapple drizzled with brown sugar and a wee touch of cinnamon heat. But again, it's very understated. It's quite thin. A wee bit of black pepper joins now after the initial spicy burst from the cinnamon. And that adds just a wee bit of a tingle on the tongue. But again, it's light, it's understated, there's no pizzazz, there's no wow factor with it.
Nice, but dim.
Now in the next sip, a darker edge comes in. There's dark fruits, it's a wee bit sherry-esque without being a sherry bomb or a classic sherry by any means. And there's a wee bit of a fusty note comes in to play as well. And that's not to say that it's off-putting in any way. It's just there after that darkness of the sherry-esque notes. But it's not overly off-putting. It's still okay. Now, as I said, the mouthfeel is pleasant enough, but it is a wee touch on the thin side. The only saving factor here in this is the fact that those dark notes and the bit of that barrel char helps it to become a wee bit longer on the palate, a wee bit longer in the finish, and it's actually just coming up, just approaching a medium finish. Now, this is a decent enough whisky. It's not complex in any way. There's nice flavours, but they're understated. They've no pizzazz with them. You know, but then 30 quid, no. 24, 18. You probably would keep a couple on your shelf if you could get them in a bargain offer at 18 quid. But then again, you know, this may well be a recreation of that McKinley's Old Highland Rare Whisky. And if it is, fair enough. You know, I can't complain about that. But it definitely does not reach the legendary status of the man who it's named after. With that all said and done, it comes down now to give it a score. And you know what? It is a tad mediocre. Between mediocre and good, but more mediocre than good. So that's going to be a score of 79. But now, guys, it's over to you. Let me know what your thoughts are. Have you had this before? If you have, let me know in the comment section down below. And thanks once again for your ongoing support. Thanks to you new subscribers who've come on board and finally taken me over that 1k subscriber mark. And the videos will be coming a wee bit quicker now after that few weeks of a break. So until next time, please look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on drinking your whisky the way you like it. Sláinte.